Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups. Let's talk Night Thrasher. That's right everybody, welcome here to Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Rockin' Robbie Billups, aka Let's Talk Night Thrasher over on Twitter. You can follow that Twitter account at Let's Thrasher. So we're continuing our look through Dwayne Turner, aka Night Thrasher's journey through the Marvel Universe. Today, it brings us to New Warriors number 4, a very exceptional issue. One of the best issues, one of the first really good issues for me. Like, I love issue 1, 2, and 3, but issue 4 really starts kind of cementing the flow, the fun pace of the New Warriors and the high stakes that can also be introduced as well. So, in previous issues, we've learned that Gene Tech, this crazy corporation trying to do something where they're getting information about the New Warriors. They hired the Mad Thinker, for instance, all that kind of stuff. The New Warriors have had enough. This issue starts with Cord dropping the New Warriors off, minus Speedball, at Gene Tech's facilities where they break in. So let's go through real quick what happens. So there they are, breaking into the Gene Tech facilities. Cord leaves them on their own. Then all of a sudden they get ambushed. They get ambushed by the Psionics, which are this new evil supervillain team that we see right here on the cover, okay? So a new colorful cast of characters. They come in, they completely take out each and every single one of the New Warriors, like with ease, no problem whatsoever. So then during this, Night Thrasher gets like emerged in this like black smoke or something like that, right? And he has this vision right here of his parents' death. And we know so far very little about Night Thrasher's past, but we do know that for some reason his parents were killed and he is now taking a vow of vengeance upon crime is what he's trying to do. But all of the New Warriors get incapacitated very quick, and then we cut to Ty, and there's a little bit of revelation right here, just a little bit of hinting that Ty may not be quite what she appears. I'm sure we'll learn more about that soon, but she's still waiting on Speedball. Speedball finally shows up. So, cool, we got a New Warrior who's not been attacked. Then we jump to Chapter 2. One of my favorite things about this issue of New Warriors is that it does harken back to those early Kirby, Lee, Ditko, Romita days where they broke the comic books up in different chapters, right? You read old school, like very early Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk and stuff like that, you're going to see it be like Chapter 1 and then 5 pages later, Chapter 2. It was a really cool way to kind of break into the story, even though the story completely flows through. By doing this kind of format and this kind of technique, what Fabian Nicieza and Mark Bagley are stating is that the New Warriors are a new modern team in Marvel at the time in the early 90s, but they are still steeped in that classic Marvel tradition, and absolutely. So in this scene, Chapter 2 starts, they are in Gene Tech, completely captured. They're like, what's going on? They talk to the dude who they've already met in issue 1. He introduces the CEO of Gene Tech, and you find out that the CEO, this Harmon Ferments, that's a nice name. Anyway, so we find out that he was part of a program back in the day that ultimately led to Captain America, but he was rejected because he's a hemophiliac, right? He was also working with Howard Stark. He was working with Reed Richards, so he kind of feels like he was always right near superhuman greatness, but he never quite happened to him. So now he's founded this company, and what they're going to do is they're trying to be able to evolve the human race to superhuman levels, right? Because he missed out on it. He doesn't want anybody to miss out on it. So on the outside, because Ty has given Speedball a tracker, he is able to track them down to Gene Tech, and he is able to get in by exploding out an air duct. Skip to Chapter 3. Chapter 3, we properly meet the Psionics, an interesting cast of characters with different powers. All the information that the Thinker and that Gene Tech itself had collected on the New Warriors had helped create this team. This is their first wave of new superhumans, so that's pretty interesting. They go over their powers. Some really interesting ones, especially Mathomaniac. Don't really understand it. Basically, he's a math telepath. We're still figuring that out for ourselves. Asylum is an interesting character. She is the one that was able to envelop Dwayne in that black fog of smoke, which allows him to face his greatest fears and lies and hard truths, stuff like that. Then you introduce this guy down here, Impulse. Impulse can basically kill at the speed of thought. He can move very fast. He's like an ultimate kind of predator when he took out Namorita when they first showed up. So Speedball shows up. He sees them through the air vents. He busts in, causes all kinds of commotion. The New Warriors break out. Of course they do. They break out, and of course we have a big fight with the Psionics. And it's a really fun, big, old-school Marvel slam-bang, balls-to-the-wall comic book action fest. Really cool stuff. Each member comes up against a different member of Psionics, so they're able to actually handle them a whole lot better. Of course, they're also not being ambushed. And that's a really cool page right there, because Dwayne is going after Impulse, a man who can move at the speed of thought, basically, and he takes him down. He's like, you don't have as much training as me. Not bad, fast, undisciplined. Haven't spent my years in training, have you? Learning to fight, to hurt, to kill. Didn't have your parents killed, did you? Don't know how to hate, do you? Do you? Look at the intensity there. Some really cool Night Thrasher stuff. All we really know so much is about this fury. But we know a little bit of the softer side with the story with Silhouette and Midnight's Fire, right? So Nicieza is really starting to flesh out Dwayne's character, and it's really coming really full, right? But also just the book itself is starting to feel a lot more classic, a lot more hype, a lot more dynamic than the previous issues, and that's saying a lot. So he's just going to town, Night Thrasher is, on this Impulse dude, right? And Nova has to throw him off, be like, we're tired of this Berserker Shinola, you know? But Night Thrasher's got some issues inside that he's trying to work out. So then all of a sudden, the second in command, this dude right here that we met in issue 1 from Gene Tech, he tries to like call a truce. He's like, the police are outside. We'll tell them that you were helping us out. We're not really down. We don't really think that this is a good experiment. We're going to do better. Nova's like, how are we going to trust you? He's like, I can only give you my word. So they're like, whatever, but they still just leave anyway. They just leave it. So maybe, I wonder if that's going to come back to bite him on the ass. And then at the very, very end, we get this mysterious woman talking about one of the characters of the New Warriors and about how he will understand the meaning of time and what time will mean in time. That's kind of cheesy dialogue, but I know what this is leading to, and it's a very exciting story involving one of these New Warriors. Absolutely. So New Warriors, number 4, I really like it. I love the throwback to the old school, different chapters, the way it was structured. It's really fun. The artwork by Mark Bagley is exactly what you expect, aided by the inking in this issue by Larry Malstedt. Really cool stuff. I do like it. Really highly dynamic. Let's check out some of the ads. There's an ad for the Nintendo game of Mission Impossible there. That's a really cool ad. There's one ad in particular I thought was really cool. First of all, there's an old school Honey Nut Cheerios ad. That's pretty dope. I really like looking through the old ads when you reread these books. They're usually really fun and very nostalgic, right? There is a Total Recall ad in here as well. I do remember, right there. An ad for the debut of Captain Planet, September 15th. How cool is that? And at the end here, we got the, it's like a Total Recall Nintendo game ad right there. Anyway, I'm really loving going through these New Warriors books. Next week, we'll be back with New Warriors number 5. What are your recollections of New Warriors, of Night Thrasher back in the day? How much do you love Night Thrasher? Do you love him as much as I do? If so, follow the Twitter account Let's Talk Night Thrasher at Let's Thrasher. You can also follow me personally on Twitter at Rockin. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And join us at PopCulturePhilosophers.com for podcasts and a whole lot more. I've been Rockin' Robbie Billups. Let's Talk Night Thrasher. Keep thrashing.